a typical Ugandan, like when I say typical, I mean like a really typical Ugandan wouldn't survive in Kigali. Ask me why. Hello my people, welcome back to yet another awesome video. It's your girl Shagishan here if it's your first time here, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for the love and support. I really do appreciate. As you guys know, I have been in Kigali, Rwanda for some time now, and my stay here has sadly come to an end, and it would be very unnice of me not to share with you guys my culture shocks as a Ugandan in Kigali, Rwanda. So I had to sit down and tell you guys everything that I was shocked about me as a Ugandan. So let me share with you guys my culture shocks. I have my points written down here. They are really so many, as you can see. So I'm going to be referring to most of them, because if I don't write down these things, I might forget. Like, because guys, these things, I was so shocked. My very first culture shock. So when I had just arrived in Kigali, Rwanda, I was really thirsty. Like, I was so thirsty. So I was with a friend and we were like, let's go grab a drink. The very first drink that came to mind was a soft drink. So we go to this particular shop, and looking in their fridge, they had Fanta that was green in color. Like, green? As a Ugandan, you guys know we don't have green Fanta. As in green Fanta in Uganda. That was one that I don't understand. It's called citron, and it tasted so much like lemon. Yeah, my second culture shock was, you know how in Uganda we sit on one motorbike, people are like 4 or even 3, sometimes 2. In Kigali here, it is absolutely forbidden. You cannot sit 2 on a motorbike. On top of that, motorbike boda guys in Uganda, we call them bodas, as in the people who ride bodas, we call them boda guys. In Rwanda here, they are called motorbike drivers. You heard me right. Motorbike drivers. I was like, oh, okay. Here they're actually given more respect, and even when you look at them, you realize they are very smart. They are not. There's a way Ugandans don't come for me, but there's a way Ugandan boda guys are not as smart as the motorbike drivers that I have seen in Kigali. So yeah, that was another one. On top of that, on top of one person sitting on a motorbike, a helmet is a must. A helmet is a must. Yeah, in Uganda, some borders have helmets. You guys don't get me wrong. Some borders have helmets, especially for the safe borders. Usually they have helmets, but also you find that a safe border could be having a second helmet, but then he will not give it to the passenger to use it. But here in Kigali, it is a must. As in, there were even times when I would forget to, before you even sit, the guy is like, he hands you over the helmet, because they have it just on their arm, on the around, or just on their arm as they are riding. So it's a must here in Kigali to wear a helmet. So that's another culture shock that I got, but that's actually an experience that I loved the most. For you guys that have been watching my Kigali series the entire time, I really enjoyed myself being on a motorbike with a helmet, because I would get off the motorbike and I feel like a superstar. You see, like those girls in the movies when they get off motorbike and then they take off the helmet and then they shake their hair. Yeah, that's how I was feeling. It felt really nice having a helmet on every now and then. It actually also promotes safety. So my country, Uganda, I think it would be a good thing for us to also pick a leaf from Rwandese. I mean, it's a good thing. It's a good culture to have. Another culture shock, you guys. You know how in Uganda it becomes dark at around 7 p.m. Guys, tell me why in Kigali it was getting dark at 6 p.m. I'm like, it is dark, you people. It is dark. I'll check the time and it is 6 p.m. But the whole area is dark. And then at 6 a.m.
it's already dark
here. It is already broad daylight, like clear daylight. I'm like, wow.
Guys, it's exactly 6 a.m. Kigali time, and the sun is already so out. Like, it's already broad daylight. This doesn't happen in Uganda. 6 a.m. is still a bit dark in Uganda. But yeah, it's 6 and it's already out. Interesting.
As a Ugandan, that was a big shock because for us in Uganda, it becomes broad daylight at 7 a.m. Yeah, and then it becomes dark at 7 p.m. But Rwanda is 1 hour behind of what of Uganda. Another culture shock. You see how before coming to Kigali, I did my research and then it was saying there is no polythene. You know how these things, whenever you see them on the internet, sometimes you're like, these guys must just be exaggerating. You people, I went to the supermarkets, and I was being served my purchase, my groceries in a paper bag. I'm like, that's when I was like, okay, this thing is really real. Yeah. Actually, I did so much shopping with UG Connect, and he would be giving at you big paper bag. And we're like, now, if someone has like a lot of grocery, how are they supposed to carry this in their hands and they have no car? But yeah, those are the rules in Kigali, Rwanda. Whenever you want to go to Rwanda, be aware of not using polythene. But in fact, they actually take it in case you at the border, in case you enter Rwanda during your checkup, they actually check through your whole luggage to make sure there is no cavera. It stops there. It does not go into their country. No, it doesn't go into Rwanda at all. Yeah, that was another very culture shock, and it's just a don't that you should go there knowing that caveras are not allowed. Okay, guys, here in Rwanda, I have struggled. I have struggled to find a pothole, as in even one pothole like this. I'm like, oh wow, like the Rwandese government has really done amazing at that. Like the roads are smooth, like the tarmac alone, and even you can see the quality of the tarmac. It's not tarmac that can easily get spoiled or damaged by so much usage by motorists. So me, the Ugandan in me, it was difficult to believe that there are no potholes. In fact, UG Connect kept telling me, Shan, stop comparing Uganda to Kigali. I'm like, I just can't help it. This is the first country I've been in and I'm seeing things that I had never seen in my country. So yeah, that was another one. The roads are extremely clean. On top of that, another culture shock, litter is not allowed. You're not supposed to litter. As in, if you litter, you're going to be fined, and you don't want to be fined in a new country. Besides, there's even no room for littering because you don't see any trash on the ground. Guys, even at a bus park, we went to a bus park, I myself and UG Connect, and I was like, even in a bus park, at least a place where I would expect to have some bit of litter all over the streets, all over the ground and what, even in a bus park there was no sign of litter, even one car trash. There was absolutely nothing. So yeah, that's another culture shock. Me as a Ugandan, the litter, you anyway. Let me just stop there. Ugandans, guys, just keep commenting down below. If you've also been to Kigali, Rwanda before, or if you have been in Rwanda, kindly comment down what your culture shocks were from whichever country that you come from. Another culture shock, you guys. Tell me why a whole country has something called a car-free day. As in, this is a day where I arrived in Kigali on the 4th. It was like the first weekend of August. So apparently every first Sunday of a month it's car-free day. Car-free day means like the entire country, the people, everyone in Kigali comes together and then they have sports activities and roads are blocked. Like cars are completely blocked from using the roads. Yeah. I was like, wow. And everyone abides to this, like the entire country. I'm going to post for you guys some clips. And then it was at around, it was, if I'm not mistaken, if I'm to remember properly, it was they later released cars at 11 a.m. That's when now and it exactly clocked 11 a.m. I now started seeing cars accessing the road, using the road. I was like, okay, wow, this country is too organized. Like, what? Like the whole country, everyone is literally engaging in sports activity. Like that is such a beautiful culture. Imagine a country where everyone is up with their health game, like they want to be fit. That is awesome. That is really awesome. Kudos to Kigali, you guys. Kudos to the Rwandese government. That is really awesome. I love that. Today is car free day. Car free day here. So guys, like I told you, it has been car free day. It goes all up to 10 a.m. and right about now it's 5 minutes past 10, and now cars have been released on the road and the motorbikes. Yeah, which wasn't the case earlier. I don't know the right words to put for this city because I'm experiencing so many things that I've never experienced before. Another culture shock, guys. You people, there is Wi-Fi, as in public. Wi-Fi in public. There was this particular day when I was vlogging, I didn't have internet. The thing is, when I was vlogging around Kigali cafes when I was told there's Wi-Fi, at first I was like, Wi-Fi? Are you kidding me? Who doesn't want to be in a place that has free Wi-Fi? Let alone if you're a foreigner. I'm standing right behind the Kigali Sun block letters. Look at that. And guess what? One thing that I really loved about this area is that there's free Wi-Fi. Who doesn't want a place that has free Wi-Fi? I just connected to the Wi-Fi here, and yeah, I'm currently browsing the internet with it. That's amazing. So they had Wi-Fi, like, and it was fast, like really, really, really fast. And tell me why also in the car-free zone, they also have sockets, as in sockets, if you want to charge your phone. Kwegamba, you can just sit in that in at Kigali car free zone. I think content creators in Kigali here really thrive. Like you just sit there and upload your videos with ease. Like that is so beautiful in a whole city, and there is Wi-Fi. I couldn't fathom that. I'm like, as a Ugandan, I couldn't relate. I really couldn't relate, but it was really it was a nice experience. How was I going to forget this one? You people that have been watching the Kigali series, at at every zebra crossing, you people, the motorists would stop. You heard me right. Stop, and the pedestrians would cross the road. Like, as a Ugandan, I was like, wait, what? So actually, zebra crossings are supposed to be used. Ugandans, please don't come on, but you guys know these things. In Uganda, you people. In fact, in Uganda, even at a zebra crossing, as you're crossing, you must be running. Like, you must be running because the car is because the car is coming for you, Quad. It is coming. But in Kigali, like, even those big cars that you'd be like, the cool cars, they would all stop and the pedestrians cross the road. I was like, okay, wow. Cars, borders, or rather, motors would all stop and then the pedestrians cross. I'm like, no, they didn't just stop. But yeah, that is Kigali for you. That was really nice. Another very, very culture shock. I have had a serious issue with communicating, especially to the border guys, to the motorbike drivers. Oh my god, the Ugandan in me. Yes, to the motorbike drivers. And in so many scenarios, whenever I would be engaging with a motorbike driver, they had to type what they were saying on the phone for me to understand. You get, like, let's say there was a time I was going to, I think it was the Viryogo car free zone, and since language barrier was an issue, most of the people in Rwanda don't speak English. Most of them speak Rwandese. Like that is for a fact. Most of them, the bigger percentage. Once in a while, I would get a motorbike rider that knows English, but that was really once in a while. So this particular time I needed to travel. I needed to use a motorbike, and the border guy was kind enough to type, like they would type on their phone what they're trying to mean, like the amount that they are charging you for that particular ride, and that's how we'd communicate, and then I would continue with my ride. Yes, so yeah, some of the things would Google. Most times when I was UG Connect, like would try to Google something, like we want to communicate something, and yeah, they would translate for us, and that's how we got our way around Rwanda, Kigali. Yeah, another culture shock in Kigali. Apparently, it's a cashless economy. It's more on the cashless economy side compared to cash. So most of the things in Rwanda you pay using Momo. In fact, even after using a motorbike, yes, a boda boda. After using a motorbike, some motorbikes, not even some, most of them had Momo. They are really trying their best to use more of Momo cards and all that. So I had that culture shock. I was like, even a motor, even using a border, you don't need to pay cash. Like you can just have your money on your Momo account and then just send it to him. That was awesome as well. They use a lot of Momo Pay. In fact, even as I was going to the Kigali Expo in Gikondo, they use a lot of Momo Pay. That if you don't know Momo Pay, it's more of mobile money. Yeah, it's MTN Momo mobile money. Yeah, so that's one thing that you should be prepared for. Another very culture shock, still on the motorbikes. You know how in Uganda they talked about bringing electric motorbikes? They didn't really implement. In Rwanda, in fact, my very first motorbike to take when I was in the moment I arrived in Kigali, I used an electric motorbike. I'm going to put for you guys a clip, so don't worry. I used an electric motorbike and it was really a smooth ride. Like they don't make noise. As a Ugandan, I'm like, and these, You guys, another culture shock. I don't know whether this is a culture shock, but the security here in Rwanda. Hey, I kept telling my friends that a typical Ugandan, like when I say typical, I mean, but like a really typical Ugandan wouldn't survive in Kigali. Ask me why. The security that is here. There is security like in every at some points I would reach a point and I'm like I would start to feel a little bit scared because you don't know whether in that particular spot filming is not allowed or it's not or it's allowed, because the security is too much. Everyone is literally looking out for each other. So there are particular places where you're not allowed to film. But again, if you don't know, as a vlogger, as a content creator, sometimes when you're in a public place. In fact, the very first time I had just arrived in Kigali, we were stopped at the bus park. We were stopped from filming, like at a bus park, and there are security guys everywhere in a bus park. As a Ugandan, I was like, okay, wow, even in a bus park, that is a public place. So Rwanda is very, very strict. Their security is really tight. Even during the car-free day, as we were walking around, we could spot hidden cameras in some areas. Yeah. So whenever you're in Rwanda, please, 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 please try your best to be on the right side because Rwanda is a very strict country. It's the safest country. Yes, but again, if you are a wrongdoer, you will not face it well in Rwanda. Yeah, that is for a fact. So the security there is not for jokes. Okay, so make sure you do enough of your research, get to know the do's and the don'ts while in Kigali, Rwanda. That way you'll have the best time of your life in Rwanda. Yeah, in Rwanda, in Kigali here, they drive on the right. So as a Ugandan, you know that in Uganda, we always drive on the left. But in Kigali, Rwanda, it is strictly right. So at points, actually, I would get confused. I'm like, which side of the road am I supposed to be? But eventually I got a hold of it and I'm like, okay. So if you're coming to Kigali, Rwanda, make sure you know that motorists keep right at all times. Okay, because yeah, those were some of my culture shocks in Kigali, Rwanda. Some things were a bit similar. For example, the food. When I went to the Biryogo car free zone, I got food that I was familiar with. So guys, comment down below and let me know what are some of your culture shocks. If you've been to Kigali, Rwanda, what are some of your culture shocks as from whichever country that you're coming from? And yeah, thank you so much for you guys that have loved the Kigali series. This comes to an end of my entire adventure in Kigali, Rwanda. Thank you so much. Thank you so much to my Rwandese family that I have got well here in Kigali, Rwanda. I love you guys so much. And Murahoneza. So thank you so much for watching up until now. So from now on, I'm going to be going back to the Ugandan videos. Thank you so much to all of you guys. I really do appreciate. See you guys on the other side. Bye-bye.